Hello, welcome to the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. We're going to work on Dennis's dance moves, but no, we're pumped up over here at DealerConnect 2025. Welcome to the party, everybody. But ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast, we have the one, the only Dennis Gingrich. Welcome to the show.
It's great to have you, man. Absolutely. Like, here's so many great things about you. I've had conversations, so I do validate that he is literally
100%
top-notch CGC approved. That's right. And just no top-notch. Everyone that works with you, anyone that's worked with you, they all say just the most stellar things about you. The first time that I saw you, I think it may have been Steve Rossler, and he was like, "You need to get him on the show." And I was like, okay. So, but you're always so busy, and I know how you are. You're running a lot of different things, going all over the place, trying to make things happen. You one of the things I love is you care about your team deeply, and it's just the way you talk about them. And even last night when we were talking about the team that was at Digital Dealer and when they go to NADA and how they want to be part of it more and how you're just excited to see them that way. I love it. It's the way your eyes light up for them. I mean, I'm being real. Very, very good people person. I could tell from right off the rip.
Well, thank you, man. I am blessed. I work with a lot of amazing people, not just now, but in years past. And, everything that I've been able to do is really it's been done through great people around me. I just don't know another way to get things done. And it's just so great to see people do well. I had a good conversation at a dealer a number of years ago back in my prior career, and we were trying to fill a position. And this guy that we're interviewing, he goes, "Hey, this guy, Mike Lozano," who is a guy I work with. But what was really cool about it is the guy that was interviewing, Mike's nowhere in the room. He's just saying, "Mike had such a great impact on my career, and I wouldn't be sitting here going for this job if it weren't for him." Wow. So, like, for me, I just think, like, dude, I want to have as many people saying stuff like that behind my back. And, and it just starts with being real and being good. And, I love my people.
Yeah, they're definitely doing that. They are, like, everyone that ever talks about you, especially your teammates. It's a love thing. They love you, they appreciate you, and they know that you love them back and appreciate them back. That's what a true leader does, brother. So great job.
Thank you.
And you even brought that up yesterday. We had Joe Theismann, right? Thiesman, however you want
real pronunciation,
right?
But the brand is
the branding.
Theismann.
It was so awesome to hear that, to hear him how he adjusted his name. To be able to build on his brand. But you asked yesterday, about being able to motivate your team, and he gave such an incredible response. What was your takeaway from the entire keynote? Because everybody's still kind of reeling about just how awesome he was.
Well, yeah, the first thing I would say, I've been blessed to see a lot of big names that are, that have good messages and motivate people. And, every time you hear somebody, you take away something a little bit different, or it hits you like on an emotional level, just different. But I would say this about Joe, like, that was he's the real deal. And, the way he just, brings it around. And, I was fortunate to ask the guy a question is because he's a winner. He had this gruesome career-ending injury. I'm sure he's like any NFL player. They get beat, they get banged up, and they're leaders, but they still gotta, like, the team knows, like, man, that's rough. This guy's got to carry it on. And, how do you deal with that from a leadership perspective? And it's just like, it was so simple. It's like, dude, you just keep your head high, man. You keep your shoulders up, head high, and you just grind, because once you grind and your team sees you grind and do it, like, things become easy after the grind, but you just got to keep going. And I just love that about Joe.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It is about that. Like, the way his career ended, it could have been, I'm done, I gave up, but yet he found other ways to be impactful, other ways to be a leader, and he's still doing it now. I mean, just the way he was on stage, he's still just as much of a leader as he was the day he was throwing a football.
What was wild after his injury, I didn't know this, and maybe I misheard, but he tried punting. And he has like the record for like the shortest
punt.
1 yard net. It's a 1 yard net.
Yeah, but hell, dude, he's like, you get out there and you get uncomfortable. And I think, in our industry, which I love, you guys are always talking and just having these long form conversations, but people need to ask more questions in our industry. I notice, when we go to these, these big events, the best events in what we're doing here at DealerConnect is there are people asking questions. And we're talking about, like, really smart thought leaders in our industry that are just asking questions, and that just turns into big dialogue. And I just know that's how we grow and we get better to serve our customers and the people we work with every day.
And there's a lot of questions being asked, a lot of questions being answered. I mean, we've had some amazing panels. Day one, we're on day two, getting things going, but there's been some great conversations, and I absolutely love even just the keynote delivery right on time for all of the things that we're trying to trudge through and trying to really build something. And creating an event is no easy feat, and then convincing yourself to even to be part of something that is a first time. And on the subject, it's like, man, we actually can be part of history here, because this conversation that we're having concerning AI is constantly evolving. I mean, literally asking the right questions of AI is critical. Knowing what to ask, what to prompt, what to do, and we're all learning these things. I do love Joe was actually using AI way before AI was a thing. He was using athletic intelligence, and it's just very interesting how so much of that ties in, right? Before the internet, before all those things, he was doing certain things, but we evolving into what we have and using artificial intelligence. It's a challenge that many people are kind of hiding away from, but we're at this event to say, no, let's start unpacking it. Let's start talking about it. The conversation around AI has many different people either jumping on demos to learn a little bit more, making sure it's part of the question. Hey, do you use AI? What was the biggest thing about this particular event, the inaugural event of it? What was it that intrigued you to be part of it?
I mean, AI is obviously everywhere, but for me, I was looking at the names and the roster of the people that were going to be on these panels, which I love panels. I think that's just the best way to get to the root of anything. But on a technical level, like the amount of data and cleanliness and how you get all of that aggregated from all the different sources, and make sure it's clean. So AI for your dealership is effective for you. So really getting into the weeds and just start having conversations with some of these thought leaders here. It's like I know I have a good vision in terms of what I believe we need to do to take the Niello company to the next level, but being able to come here with people that are forward thinking and looking to grow their business intelligently, efficiently, while keeping their people like taken care of. Like, that's how we got to get to the root and do it efficiently so we can serve the customers. And again, just give everybody more opportunity at work, whether that's, more guys turning more hours in the shop, or seeing detail guys go to sales, to general manager. And the only way that happens is just dialogue with thought leaders. And and then you mentioned demos, man. Like, I'm a demo, like, sorry to all the vendors, like, I take so many demos. But
that's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Yeah. Sometimes you just learn things enough to where it's like, man, I just need to get this education. That was amazing.
No, that's how you connect the dots, man. And it just comes back to like questioning. And it's like, I love being questioned. I love being challenged. Like, that is good, because that means you're paying attention and you want to learn. And and if I'm wrong, which
I need to know.
I'm not, nobody's perfect. And I just think through, stuff like this is how you learn and put together a better program.
And through demos.
And demos. And I love that, and I did the same thing. You mentioned that you looked at the lineup of speakers and panelists and you're like, okay, great. This is somewhere I know that I'm going to be able to get fed a little bit. But yet you're on a panel too. You get to speak and you get to tell people how you feel. And you did a great job yesterday. And I know a lot of people even came to you and said, hey, thank you, because your perspective matters. I think coming in the seat that you're at and being able to explain how it feeds you and how it works for you and what you need help with, really, at the end of the day, that's an amazing thing. And to be humble enough to say, hey, I'm here to be with other thought leaders, as big of a thought leader as you're considered, that you're still open to learning from other ones, right? And that is what a real leader does, is that they stay humble and they look for ways to constantly improve themselves too. So being here to learn about AI, to get better at it, how to implement it, how to use it, is massive. It is not the future, it is the now. It was the yesterday. And it's like, hey, the same conversation about AI a year ago is completely different than it is today. I remember 2 years ago when it started to be talked about at NADAs and stuff, it was just like, okay, it's AI. And you started seeing the AI name on things.
Yeah, everything was this.
But it was a very basic, ChatGPT style stuff. Now we're seeing it advance, but now we're seeing where it can go. Yeah. Because now we've seen it advance enough to we're like, oh, wow, there's some really crazy things. If you were to say the one thing you're most excited about AI doing for not just automotive, but for the world, maybe, what would you say that you're excited about seeing AI do for us?
for us in the automotive, and this is from my perspective, this is the biggest source of retraining as it relates to people, because so many people are like, oh, what's this going to look like for my job? I know people, inevitably jobs are going to go away, but I'm a firm believer that are going to reinvent themselves in another direction.
That's fact.
Right? And that's just going to happen. But I think as soon as we can get comfortable, with the notion of that, and we get into these conversations, this is where you can start growing and learning, like, hey, how is AI going to help me? But all this data, because at the center of everything we've been talking about these last couple of days, it's all rooted in data. And as human beings, we can't effectively process all the different data points efficiently. So when it's all clean and it's getting aggregated into an AI engine, it's like, okay, it's serving up the right information to you as a sales professional, to you as a technician, to a general manager, or the guy on the lot that's taking the photos to make sure you're standing tall on the SRP, right? So it's just serving it up. So it's like you just gotta run with it. And then the other part of that is again around conversation, how quick everything is growing and developing. Like I was at Digital Dealer, like you guys, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm walking across the floor and I'm looking at all these, like a lot of different vendors.
You've never even seen
I swear, but that is what AI is doing, right? So there's some stars in the making, but because AI allows so many people to do so many things that were way outside their normal skill set so quick, now it's up to us as leaders and dealers to ask more questions, because you got to sign up with a good partner that's legit, and you just multiple questions over and over again. That's how you're going to land at the truth, because we need the tool that's going to work best for our solution. And I don't want to be going from this widget to that widget to this widget, because at the end of the day, who suffers the most are people.
Yeah. Speaking of great people, we got Kristen Long saying, Dennis G, whoop, whoop. We also got Damian Boudreau on here. What's up, Damian? Love you, Damian.
How are you?
And he's saying so many great things are going to manifest in life as a result of AI. So right, keep teaching us older folks. Whatever, Damian, you're right there with us, brother. Keep doing your thing. Way to be out there teaching others on how to be better with people too. That's an important thing. We appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, people matter, and helping your people take it to the next level. I love that you talked about how it's going to help advance our people. That jobs are going to disappear, but they're going to be replaced with newer jobs, and they're going to be great opportunities. But those jobs that are going to be replaced, the ones that are going to be filling in those old jobs, are going to be probably AI based, my friends. So you need to learn this stuff. You need to come to conferences. You need to be on Zoom calls. You need to take demos. You need to do everything you can to get to the next level and become, I don't want to say comfortable with AI, but to get knowledgeable about AI, because it's never going to be comfortable. It's going to constantly be evolving. You're going to have to constantly evolve too. Matter of fact, it's not fun when you're comfortable. Come on, let's be real. It's the only time we grow. So stay uncomfortable and keep doing it. But yeah, right on the money with that. I think that's a great point. I think that not just in automotive, to your point, it's everywhere. It's going to be like that. I mean, in any workplace, AI is going to make a shift in how we do things, from the medical fields to automotive to you name it. I believe even military, there's going to be a lot of change inside there. And a lot of the stuff we probably won't know. They're probably way more advanced than we think right now. It's kind of neat to think about that. I know the government definitely using AI, and I know Facebook knows everything that I asked for. It comes right up in my feed.
The universe is talking to you, or the algorithm.
But somebody's listening.
But it may be the
same.
That's the
key. We all should be listening to learning and to understanding. We said it over at Digital Dealer. The data don't matter if you don't have a ladder, right? Understanding that all of the information that's out there, it really is useless if you don't start to take intentional steps forward to advance and to raise up your team, to educate yourselves, to make sure that you're not just showing up to events, but you're sitting down to have the conversation. Okay, how do we really do this, and how do I get better? The thing that we want to make sure that we stress to all of you out there is this is only going to make you better. It's going to help you to learn not just how to use it, but to do the other things that you want to learn, the other things that you haven't known to do yet. It definitely gives us like this bionic power to achieve different things at a crazy pace. And the conversation is just advancing further and further and further. There are some incredible people that are out here, great conversations that are going on. What would you say to anybody else that's listening and considering to be a part of this next event, the next time that we have a DealerConnect?
Well, I would say it's definitely important that you get out to DealerConnect. And if you can't make it to a DealerConnect, make sure you're going to these conferences. Like NADA is great, it's big, but these events like DealerConnect where there's more panels, more discussions, less
Noise.
vendors, less noise. When you show up, you got to be here, you got to be present, and pay attention, take your notes, take notes, write it down. And then this was the coolest part about the last few weeks, at least around the Niello company. We set a great squad with Kristen down to the DC 20 event in Southern California. She went down there with a couple guys from our Porsche store, and they just had a good time. And a couple weeks later, I got to go down to Digital Dealer where I saw you guys. But the coolest part of all of that was getting guys like Alex, guys like Ian, Michelle there, Taylor, Andre, just at the end, getting everybody in a room after it was all over and just saying, hey, what are we doing that's right? What do we need to start doing that we're not, right? And then where are we where are we wrong, right? Because that is what you got to recap internally, and you got to get for me, I got to get consensus from the people, the key players on the ground,
right?
Because if the tribe's not on board, you don't get to be the chief very long. So it's very important to get the men and women that really make it happen and get them in, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are making sure everybody can bring groceries home.
And they're added eyes. They're still contributing their perspective that you can't see it all. And that's the great thing about good leaders, is they trust people to bring what it is that they see, they feel to it, and then get empowered. A good leader is always going to empower people to continue to push the envelope. And I love that you're doing that. Definitely love your heart on leadership. We have to do a little bit more brewing with you at another time, but we're so thankful to be able to have just a few moments with you. We had to pull him out, right? He was sitting front and center, getting some education. We pulled him out to get over here and get on the show because we had to have him on the show. And we definitely didn't want to miss another opportunity to get you on. But we do need to do a full five-liner. We got to get Dennis on a real five-liner, everybody. You got a great story to tell, and we want to be able to make sure we do that. But thank you for empowering your people and empowering others to go do what they do and inspiring others. Those that are watching, make sure that you pay attention to this guy. Genius, yes, but there's also something that's just really cool about him. You got to see his sneaker game, folks. It's on point. It's on point.
All right. Well, guys, hey, thank you guys for doing what you do for the industry. Just making people talk, man. That's how we're doing.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate that. And, we're blessed. This industry's done nothing but blessings to us, and we just want to keep giving back to it. And that's the whole mission for us. And I'm sure it's the same mission for you. And I love how you care about your people, man. You're right up our alley. You're a true solutionary in our books, man. So thank you.
Well, car guys and car gals, you've been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast at DealerConnect 2025. And we've been brewing with the one,
the only
Dennis Gingrich. That's right. We will see you soon, everybody. Keep brewing. More to come.